Back again with another video. Today we're going to talk about conflict between student nurses and staff nurses. So I've been lucky enough to not have very much conflict, but there has been times, and I'll explain that in 2 minutes time. I just want to mention that this video was actually requested by somebody who emailed me. So if you want to be on my email list too, and you can email me and I'll reply within 24 hours guaranteed, you can go to the link in the first line description of the bio, and you can be on the email list too. So let's get into conflict between student nurses and staff nurses. So on my previous placements, I've been lucky enough to not have too much conflict. But on one of my placements throughout my course so far, I have had conflict between me and a staff nurse who I didn't think was treating a patient properly. She just left them in a state that I didn't agree with. So instead of just saying nothing, which what I would have done at the start of my course, I plucked up the courage to just confront her and say, you know what, that's not okay to leave the patient like that. And she put it down to time, and there was a kind of a whole thing about it. I don't know if I'd recommend straight away having that conflict with a staff nurse, especially if you're on the placement for a while. You're going to have to be around them. I would more recommend, if you see something you don't like and you don't agree with and you think it's unethical or not good practice, to of course go to your mentor and say, I saw this, by this, on this day, at this time, and I don't think it was okay, because things like that I think are a lot more beneficial than me confronting the staff nurse face to face myself, because I don't know if that got me the results I wanted to get, although I was supported by other members of staff in my placement to say that I had done the right thing because what she had done was not okay. So that made me feel a bit better about causing conflict or having conflict. But other than that, I've actually been really lucky with conflict with staff nurses and student nurses. I find we kind of have a middle ground respect for each other, that staff nurses know what it's like to be a student nurse and vice versa. So I think there is a middle ground there, but that was the one time I can think of. So that would be my advice to anyone who's struggling with conflict. If you think it's the right thing to do in the moment, like what I did, then maybe do it. I don't regret what I did, because it was a circumstance that I didn't even have the time to think about it. It just came out straight away, and luckily I don't regret what I said, but I don't know for everyone if that would be the best solution. So I would say go to your mentor. Don't go to anyone above your mentor, I wouldn't say, just because it just shows kind of a lack of respect to your mentor. So I would say go to your mentor, and then hopefully they will deal with what you saw. You also probably have university reps and things like that, and it is really good to report things that you see that is malpractice, because at the end of the day, if you don't, sometimes you can be then related to the bad practice, which then is not good on your behalf either, because it's like you didn't speak up and say anything, so maybe you're like linked to it then. And most of the time that won't happen, but just for your conscience as well, just so you can leave that placement knowing you did everything you could to get to be the patient's advocate. I think that's a really big point too. You're there to speak up for the patient if a patient can't communicate or can't stick up for themselves. So I think that's a really important point. So I hope that kind of covered conflict between nurses and student nurses. And if you have any more questions, you can leave them in the comments below. And also don't forget to like this video, and thank you for watching. Bye!